Hi, it's Kristen. I am here today to show you this new paper I got for making some lined inserts. These are a couple of pages that I printed incorrectly, so I'm going to test these out. I want to show you how pens and watercolors and things work on this paper. It's by Neenah, N-E-E-N-A-H. They make great papers, and I'm extremely pleased with this paper in particular. It takes a lot of different inks and pens without bleeding, without feathering, without showing through the back. So I'm really excited to put this into some inserts in my Etsy shop. And if you're curious and want to see for yourself, keep watching. I'll show you a bunch of different pens that are pretty commonly used and how they write on this paper. I'm going to start with the Signo Uniball. It's a very popular, very common pen. I love them because they write very smoothly. This one is one of their colored pens. It's blue. So writes very smoothly on this paper, no feathering, nothing. And as you can see, it really does not come through the back very much at all. If you look through the light, you can see it a little bit, but it's really very, very nice on the other side. Right, so that's the Signo Uniball. Other common pen that I'm going to try out is the Triplus Fineliner. I think the company is Staedtler. I'm not 100% sure, but these are also very common. I highly recommend them because they're very nice to write with. This is a felt tip pen. Works very nicely, as you can see. Nothing coming through on the back. Oops, sorry, got that out of frame. Alright, I've got a Sakura Micron pen that a lot of people like to use, and just the 01. Oops, I have a dead pen. Let's see, actually let's try the the thicker one, the 08. Here, we'll try this. I do have an issue with these drying out sometimes, but I've never figured out if it's because I let them sit a while or if it's because I've used them on different mediums, but not coming through on the back. Very nice. I'm going to try another larger felt tip pen, the very fun Papermate Flare pen. Again, these all work very nicely. No feathering on the paper, no bleeding through to the other side. So let's give it a little bit bigger test here and try a Sharpie paint pen. These are the water-based paint pens. So you need to wait a little bit for this to dry, but it works very, very nicely. And again, it's not coming through to the other side. You can see a little bit of the fact that you've written on it, but it's not bleeding through the paper. It's very nice. The next pen I have is the Friction by Pilot. Very popular right now, and I absolutely love them. These are the ones with the caps. Can't remember which particular kind this is, but it's a 707 size, so it's a little thicker. has the cap on it. So there you go, and let's erase this. It takes a minute to erase because it's really about all the heat. So you have to warm up that eraser. Erases very, very nicely. Hopefully you can see that. Alright, now let's try the Precision Pen by American Crafts. Also a very nice felt tip pen. So you can see all of these different kinds of pens are taking very, very nicely on this paper. I will scan it in so you can actually see a little better. It's not bleeding through. You can barely tell that you've written on the other side. Very, very, very nice. I am so very happy, to say the least, with this paper. And I want to show you what else really you can do on this paper. It's pretty impressive, in my opinion. I have one of Tim Holtz's Distress markers here, and I'm going to take the brush end So I've got Tim Holtz there on my paper. Again, you can tell that you've written on this side, but it's not bleeding through. It's going to be just fine to write on both sides. And the fun thing about this is that you can use the water-soluble nature of these pens with this paper, and it is not going to ruin the paper at all. You can see just how much of those lines I am taking away and blending away with this paintbrush. No wrinkling, or at least very, very minimum curve here to the paper. I've got that. It is not bleeding through to this side at all. Really, really impressive for just some regular paper. And not too heavy. I think this one was 24 pounds, so it's not real thick. You can have many pages in your journal and still get this nice watercolor look. So if you are a doodler and you like to draw and fill in with watercolors, this paper will be great. Now I don't have it in white at the moment, but I'm going to be ordering it because I do like it so much. So right now I will have ivory paper available in the store. I want to show you one more thing, and speaking of watercolors, I will show you some actual watercolors on here. I'm using those Artist Loft watercolor palette from Michaels. Very easy beginner set and absolutely wonderful. I love it. So I'm going to go with a pretty dark color as well as a lighter color. Plenty of that. I'm just getting that all on my brush here. Okay, so switch colors for a second, just to show you how pretty these colors look right on this paper. You can see with a different brush on one of these that I was testing out earlier that I got very fine controlled lines without any kind of feathering or bleeding. Very, very nice. It stays right where it is meant to be. I'm going to play with this just a little bit more since I have some stuff sitting here. I'm going to try some of these gelatos. There we go. Just laying down a little bit of color. See how it spreads out? It spreads out pretty nicely. Also something you want to use as a watercolor. I'm going to start layering these now and see, it is not pilling at all. It's actually behaving very, very nicely, even with a couple layers of water. So, got my gelatos work, watercolors work, all kinds of stuff. So, this paper is absolutely wonderful. I'm really happy that I bought it. Again, it's by Neenah. I'm going to have inserts with lined and the graph, or what else do they call it? I don't remember, but the graph type paper. So you can find those in my store. I will link them below. If you want a different color of this paper, or if you want a particular kind of cover for the paper, solid color or a certain style or a certain size for your particular Midori notebook, please let me know. Feel free to message me directly on my Etsy shop. I do my best to fulfill any kind of custom orders, even if they're not listed as a listing on my site. I'm going to also post some examples of some journaling that I do on this paper eventually. So look for that, and if you'd like to continue watching my videos on art journaling and how to use your journal and the features of all of my journals, please hit subscribe. I will see you soon. Thanks. Bye.